By way of introduction, you may not know, but Oracle is the technology and has been the technology for over the past 20 years, powering connected vehicles for many of the pioneers in the industry. We have about 12 million cars and counting that are supported by different Oracle technologies that run the entire gamut of the connected vehicle, starting with embedded software all the way to monetization technology. And so today, what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is what are the big industry trends that we are seeing, and how Oracle is helping companies kind of go through the automotive industry, go through this transformation that's being caused by a couple of huge factors, right? One is there is a technological transformation going on. And then the other one, of course, is there is a business model transformation going on in the industry that is unprecedented. So there is a massive opportunity here where, as some analysts expect, by 2020, the revenues coming from connected vehicle, could be as high as $150 billion, right, which is quadruple, in these next few years. The other aspect that we look at is while this transformation is going on, car companies, are faced with this massive onslaught of quality issues and recalls. And in some cases, it's not only a reputation risk, it directly, of course, hurts the bottom line, but there is a viability issue for companies that are sometimes affected by these issues. And so could connected vehicle help? And then the other massive trend that is ongoing in the industry, but there is some renewed focus on this in the past few years, the issue of repeat customer loyalty. I had the opportunity last year to meet with Carlos Tavares, who runs PSA, and we were talking about connected vehicle, and he said, "You're not mentioning one key word here." And I thought about it. I said, "Carlos, please enlighten me." And he said, "RCL." He said, "Repeat customer loyalty." Every CEO in this industry is laser focused on improving customer loyalty. Because imagine a business where half of your customers walk out the door every time they want to buy another product in your industry. That's what the auto industry has been faced with. And then if you look at this customer journey infinity loop, the auto industry even today is really spending a lot of money on the buy side of that infinity loop, where sales, marketing, incentives, that's where tremendous spend is going on. Whereas when you think about the customer experience, they really experience your brand in that ownership phase of it. How does the product perform? What is the service experience? What does the community look like that also is like-minded and uses that product? So we believe this is really the holy grail of connected vehicle. And of course, if you think about it, data that the connected vehicle can offer provides the automakers really an unprecedented opportunity to now directly understand how their customer is using the car in the vehicle without any intermediaries like the dealer in the middle trying to convey that message or be the translator. So that being said, how do you kind of think about leveraging connected vehicle for really reaching that holy grail of repeat customer loyalty? Well, we believe it starts with a set of key capabilities. So, how do you securely connect to the vehicle and collect data? Because, vehicle to vehicle, in-vehicle services, location-based services, the evolution, autonomous vehicle, it really, the building block is reliable, secure data. And so that connectivity is mission critical. Then how do you take that information and put that in conjunction with other enterprise data, such as your customer master, such as service history, warranty data, quality data, supply chain information, and really kind of bring all of that to bear to engage your customer? Can you understand that customer's online and offline behavior, what they're saying about you or about mobility in general on social media? And then finally, to be able to kind of create those personalized service experiences and brand experiences. So if the company does know that I own or I lease a vehicle, and now I'm 2 years into that lease cycle, but I've used up all the miles, right? Very simple example, telematics kind of provides that information to the automaker. They can take that information, put that in conjunction with demographics data about me, and then come up with a very personalized offer, maybe through the dealer, which is called clienteling, and say, bring that vehicle in, we'll absorb the incremental mileage if you agree to buy or lease a new vehicle from us, right? So there is a myriad of these use cases that can be brought to bear. And so what it really needs is for auto companies to put in place these platforms that have these capabilities. How do you create an embedded software architecture so that we can bring some of these advances that have happened in enterprise IT, such as reusable building blocks, a mentality of buy where possible rather than build everything, get away a little bit from the cottage industry of embedded software development, leverage the security capabilities, the reliability capabilities, these advances that have happened in enterprise IT. How do you then again connect the vehicle, the embedded software, back to the cloud or to your own data center? How do you integrate that information into your enterprise business processes, such as service processes, CRM processes, supply chain management, billing and monetization engines? And then, there was a lot of discussion about quality and reliability and safety. We believe that capabilities of big data and analytics need to be kind of tightly integrated rather than being a silo for modern connected vehicle architectures, because that is, I think, the answer to being able to take that connected vehicle data and to be able to kind of create early warnings and forecast of these quality issues. And then, the cost of quality can be contained before it becomes a 10 million vehicle recall. And then finally, as any CEO will tell you, how do you monetize all of this? Whether it's direct monetization through, the monthly subscription, whether it's being able to offer, additional services from partners such as usage-based insurance, whether it's that transformation of business, ideas and business models such as mobility services. So having a very, very flexible engine where you can kind of, try out all these different, business models very flexibly and very rapidly without each one of those having to become, a mega project on its own, right? So these are the capabilities we believe, a modern connected vehicle architecture requires. Because, I love this quote from, Dan Ackerson, who was the CEO at General Motors, of course. The connectivity of vehicles through 4G, that has the ability to transform, not only the customer experience, but essentially the entire industry. So let me talk a little bit about how Oracle has been helping some of our, customers kind of go through this journey. And so big data, of course, right? The title of this presentation is leveraging your connected vehicle data. So big data, we believe, depends on small data, and what that means is the information that you collect from your vehicle has to basically pass the acid test of reliability and security. And so let's start about different components of this connected vehicle architecture that we have been helping our customers think through and then put in place. So the first one, of course, is embedded software. So as the amount of software in vehicles is kind of going through an exponential growth, right? And that's primarily been driven by several trends. One is, of course, the consumerization of technology, right? What you expect or what you see on your iPhone, your smartphone, is what you expect now in the car. The second mega trend is, of course, the cost of embedded computing is going dramatically down, and then ubiquitous connectivity. right? So these things are all coming together, and essentially, the number of lines of code in a vehicle is going through the roof, right? And you can start thinking about the amount of data generated is, again, exponentially growing. And so, vehicles are really becoming, servers on wheels, right? That's one way to think about it. What that translates to is historically how, the auto industry and tier ones have done embedded software engineering. That approach is not really going to scale, right? So it's, still done very much, in C, C++. In many, many cases, the same problem is being solved over and over. Even within the same model across model years, sometimes there is no compatibility. And so if you look at some of the older telematics implementations, the cost of regression testing, the cost of launching new services, the cost of, going from, bill of materials approach when the car was built to a lifetime, over the lifetime updating services, all those things don't really become feasible. And so, what we think the right approach is to bring some of the enterprise IT advancements to embedded software engineering. And we believe that Java provides a really good answer to that, right? So of course, Java originally was developed as write once, and then run anywhere, type of a software architecture. It was meant to bring intelligence to the edge. And Oracle has made massive investments in Java to make it really suitable for the Internet of Things. That includes things like device security, that includes things like remote device management, that includes things like, being able to kind of keep it always on. And so all the attributes, containerization and componentization, so all the things that you might actually expect in a robust embedded software platform, Java provides that. And so, from a business perspective, not only does Java provide the ability to control costs, because costs continue to be very important to the automotive industry, but also a lot of upside, right? So from a cost perspective, because there is a massive community, actually the biggest community of developers out there that, has expertise in Java, now you can tap into a pool of developers that is much larger than what you have historically been able to do. And it also kind of enables all that innovation that this massive community can bring to the table. That helps you with kind of faster time to market, reducing risk, right? And then being able to kind of tightly control that bill of materials so you can kind of control it based on, being able to kind of differentiate from your competition, and even within your own product line, being able to differentiate capabilities from one product to another. From a top-line perspective, right, being able to kind of, do rapid innovation, the fail-fast approach, right? Java actually enables that because now you are building on a very well-understood known platform that is being supported by somebody else. So your developers are spending time on innovation, not kind of, continuously upgrading the plumbing. So, from embedded software, then you go to the cloud, and then Oracle also now has invested heavily in building out a whole cloud infrastructure to be able to take your vehicle, embedded software, picking up those events and then integrating those into a business, business processes, business frameworks. And the way we do that is, a unique approach where we call it vehicle virtualization or device virtualization. If you look at the way the industry works today, software, telematics software is being built that is very device specific. And so that hinders the ability of tier one suppliers and OEMs to essentially kind of absorb and consume innovation that is happening at the device level, as well as innovation that is happening at the business software level. So device virtualization essentially allows you to create an abstraction layer, and those telematics functions then can be written without regard to actual end device implementations, right? So very key concept that already has been, right, it's continuously being used in enterprise IT, and we need to now also bring that to IoT. The second area is reliable, secure, high-speed messaging. And again, being able to absorb some standards, but then being able to create your own implementations of those standards or extensions as need be. And then finally, endpoint management, which includes things like remote device management, over-the-air updates, etc. Then the final component of this journey is a complete customer experience platform where you have things like service applications, you have extensions for the customer master, you have customer relationship management software. How do you take your customers' social interactions and kind of reflect those into how you interact with your customers? So really, the industry's most advanced end-to-end CX, right, customer experience portfolio of products, and Oracle happens to be the leader in the automotive industry, measured by number of customers, measured by number of end consumers being supported by these platforms. And again, as this presentation kind of explained, our point of view is telematics should be considered as just yet another channel into the whole customer experience. And then as we talked about, how do you monetize these massive investments that you are going to have to make in telematics? So there have been a lot of discussions about the variety of use cases, right, that you can think about quantifying in a number of different buckets. But ultimately, how do you kind of mechanically monetize those? So if you kind of think about it, for the first time ever, automotive companies are truly becoming B2C companies, right? Historically, they never had to actually maintain a direct relationship with their customer. So a lot of them are struggling with auto companies as well as telematic service providers. How do I kind of monetize these services? How do I create billing, one-time billing, micro-billing, promotions, bundles, offers? Because that flexibility is kind of required for me to be able to experiment with these different business models to see what's actually going to stick. And so, Oracle offers the industry's most advanced monetization engine where you can kind of put that in place, and it's tightly integrated with our customer experience platform. So now when you interact with the customer, it's really an omni-channel approach. Whether you are talking about it from a billing perspective, whether you are talking about it picking up the phone and answering a customer service call, or you're interacting with that customer at the dealership. So we believe, this connected vehicle platform, right, is all about, the value of the data coming from the connected vehicle that you can harness. It's about being able to, build on top of a platform rather than inventing the platform yourself. So you can focus your resources on innovation, and then, the Oracle approach is helping our customers reduce risk, manage that complexity, and the fastest time to market for connected vehicle services through leveraging the data. So with that, we have a minute or two left for questions, if there are any.
First of all, a round of applause, please, for Sanat. Okay, so we're going to bring up some questions on screen now. Okay, we'll go right from the top. Sanat, what is your perspective about the dealer versus OEM in transforming the customer experience with connected vehicle data?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, the industry has kind of been grappling with this for a while. Very recently, one of our North American, customers ran some, tests, right? So they took, so A/B testing is really very feasible with connected vehicle because, for the longest time, the issue was, do dealers get disintermediated, as part of, this connected vehicle journey? Well, this OEM customer of ours was able to leverage telematics to actually drive more traffic to the dealer because there are industry statistics that show that if you can get your customer to continue going back to the dealer, not only within the warranty period, but for service even after that, then the customer loyalty dramatically goes up. And so we believe it's not an either-or question, it's both, because the customer needs service, they need hand-holding, they need that personalized experience, and the dealers are critical to that. And this connectivity where now the OEM and dealer are really able to operate as one unit to be able to service that customer, telematics is able to offer that.
Okay, that's all we've got time for now, so please another round of applause for Sanit. Thank you.
Thank you.